I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
All right. So, yes, this is MT, the principal, the podcast, because the principal's office, which I thought would be a good name, was taken. So that's what the podcast is. So that's our YouTube channel. But anyway, today we are here with some of our leaders from SGA, and we're excited. I'm excited to have you. So they're going to be talking to us a little bit about why they're in SGA, but also this kind of cool yearly event that they're doing coming up. So why don't you guys start by introducing yourself, tell us who you are, what you do in SGA, and why you are in SGA.
Well, my name is Tyler. I'm the Executive Director of Communications here at West Orange, and I joined SGA to get involved with my community. I know me and Adam, we talked about how we were in SGA our freshman year and how we've just made such a big impact joining, and we just wanted to join our community and be like so much more involved.
Let me give you the twinkle. Applause. There's the applause right there. And then let me give you the twinkle. You'll hear it when you hear the final product. That was good. Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm the SGA president. And I think I joined SGA because I just want to be more involved, like kind of like what he said, but more involved in the school as well. I think that there's a lot of projects throughout the school year that you don't get to be involved as much unless you're in SGA. And I always just thought it was cool, like being behind the scenes and getting to like plan pep rallies and stuff like that. And with that, the connections you get, like meeting all the people. I know so many people throughout the school, like different teachers, different counselors, all those kind of people, and I met them all through SGA. And so I think I've gained a ton of benefits just from being in the club, and I'm very glad and grateful that I was a part of it.
That's awesome. All right, Audrey.
I'm Audrey. I'm the vice president of SGA, and I joined it mainly because, well, my sisters were in it, so I just joined it off the bat. But it really helps you get, like, behind the scenes of things you do, like, on campus. And, like Adam said, you meet so many people, and it's just so much fun. And I also wanted to do something, like, throughout the 4 years of high school, like, leave a mark on the campus in a special way, and SGA really helps do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And before we move to our last one, your sister, Ava, she was present when I got here, or she was one of the... Yeah. And honestly, if it wasn't for her and Sydney, like, pushing and, like, us trying to do stuff, I don't think SGA would have ever died. But it was a very sad time because we couldn't do anything. And so they were very good at, like, trying to find different ways to do stuff. So I'll never forget her. She's amazing. So, all right.
Hi, my name's Daniela. I'm the Secretary of Fundraising for SGA. And just joining SGA truly has made an impact on my entire high school career. I think, as everyone said, it allows you to just be involved in so many different ways, know so many different people, and do so much more. So I'm really grateful for that. I did do it my freshman year, and I've had the best 4 years doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's given me a chance to get to know you guys. You know, there's a lot of students around here. It's cool to get to know you guys. You know, one of the questions that I have as a principal, and in your point of view moving forward, you know, we have kids that come to me all the time, like, what classes should I take? Should we take 100,000 AP classes? Why would I do this? You know, and just this morning we had our top 20 senior breakfast, right? And some amazing kids, obviously they're in the top 20. But there is an element to social interactions, to being able to relate to people, deal with people, you know, and this is not directed at anyone if one of you guys wants to take it, but what are some things that you guys feel like you've gotten better at as individuals that will help you down the road through SGA, maybe socially or just leadership-wise? Like, what do you guys think has helped with that? Yeah,
I can do this. I think there's a lot that you gain from being in SGA. I would say, like, one very important thing, or just a few, honestly, is, like, presentation skills, like being able to talk to others. Like, I mean, even just running for a position in SGA, you have to do an interview. And as much as it's an interview in a class with the teachers, like me and Audrey, when we did it, I wore a suit, she wore like a whole dress, and she had heels on and everything. And as much as it's a class, it's just like the principle and like being able to learn how to do an interview just in general. I mean, that's obviously something that we're going to use for the rest of our lives. And like with that, being able to present, every meeting we talk in front of the whole club, and there's like 150 kids in the club. And I mean, without that, some of our social skills will not be anywhere near as strong. So I think there's a lot of, when it comes to social, I mean, that's where you want to be. If you want to gain social skills, SGA is gain plenty of it, and like I think we do that all the time, and it's been a great benefit for even applying to colleges. Being able to talk in front of others has been like a big help being in SGA.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's really good insights. Anybody else?
I can add, like, I think, like, kind of just the experiences that you have throughout SGA kind of instill confidence in you to be able to go and do it in other places. Like, so you're able to do it in, like, an environment where you're comfortable, like, as an SGA, where you're really learning and able to get the confidence to take it to other places.
Yeah, to build off of that, I think engaging with students, even outside of our club, even going up to kids in the cafeteria, getting to know them, we all just do that because we have confidence to do it within our club, and just expanding outside of it is just a really good benefit we have from joining.
Yeah.
We talk to like not only the students, but we've also talked to like businesses. We've talked to like just different really important people outside of our school in particular, and we wouldn't have the opportunity without SGA. So just the people you meet, the connections you make, it's great.
I think like even the small things like writing an email is like,
Yeah.
like I learned how to write an email from being in student government, and like
Yeah.
because we email people all the time, and like I did not know how to write an email until Miss Mon actually taught me how to write an email.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And writing is such a big part of it, but you guys hit some really key points. I personally think whether it's whatever job you get, there's really three parts of the job. There's getting the job, being able to do the actual job, and then the last question is then what, right?
Yeah.
Even so, I have a friend who's a doctor. He's but he's doing an MHA right now, which is Master's in Health Administration. You think, well, why would you do a master's after you're a medical doctor?
Yeah.
It's because of then what, right? I mean, he's probably almost 40 now, right? But if he's down the road, is he going to want to be taking directions from 30-year-olds that are above him now? And not that that's a bad thing, because it doesn't matter your age, but it's kind of the then what part. And I think a lot of times you can get an education, you can get good grades, you can get the job. Look at me, I got all these good grades, so I get the job. But being able to do the job is different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know for me, I kind of have two professions, right? I do this and I do a little law. I do a lot of writing. You got to be able to do a lot of writing, be able to communicate your ideas through writing. And unfortunately, or fortunately, there's politics in everything, right? It's a lot about what you know, but it's also who you know, especially when you need to get things done. And so for me, I see a huge change in you guys over the 4 years of just like being able to communicate, like you said, the confidence to go up. Some of that comes with age, but some of it just comes with the skills you're getting in those settings, being able to market yourselves, I mean, you think about it, like you're at West Orange, there's 2,500 kids, but you guys are going to go to a college next year that could have 40 or 50,000 kids. How are you going to differentiate yourself from other students? They all have good grades.
Yeah.
They all have good SAT scores. They all are good at what they're doing, but how do you differentiate yourself? My opinion, to differentiate yourself through your character. Are you showing good character? Are you doing what's right when no one else is looking? One of the things that when I was in law school that differentiated myself, and again, I was a little older, like I was in my 30s, so you're a little bit more set, right? But law school is very competitive. The bottom kids in the class are out.
Yeah.
They push them out. So so people are like trying to actually sabotage each other. Like hiding books, like you're doing assignments and you have to find certain cases, and those books are in those cases are in those books. And I just wasn't going to do that, and I was going to help people no matter what. And so I kind of made my name for myself with just being someone who was always help. But I think you differentiate yourself by your work ethic, by your character. That's a huge thing. But the third thing you guys kind of touched on is like how you can relate to people, how you can market yourself, And I think the beautiful thing about going to a public school, especially in Orlando, Florida, Winter Garden, Florida, is there's so much diversity, I mean, I grew up in a high school where it was mostly white people, so getting out and meeting people from my diverse backgrounds was almost culture shock for me, and you guys, even here, there's a ton of diversity in our school with people coming from all different cultures, socioeconomic diversity. It's just a big thing. So I appreciate you guys' insight on that. So let's push it over to what we got coming up. So you guys are here because we have a big event coming up. So Who wants to tell me about the big event?
So our big event that's coming up is Warrior-a-thon. It's a year-long fundraiser movement we raise money for Children's Miracle Network, which is a part of the National Dance Marathon movement. So this year, all of our money is going to the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital, downtown Orlando, and they're currently working on a project where they're building a children's pavilion. So that's going to be a building that houses all of their outpatient care. So after children are in the hospital, that's where they'll go and receive all their outpatient care. So it's kind of all in the same building for them. So all of the Children's Miracle Network money raised throughout Dance Marathon this year is going towards that. So we're really excited to be a part of that. But our main event is it's going to be March 7th from 6 to 10 p.m. It's a really fun event, and maybe you guys want to touch on a little bit about what happens at that event. But we're really excited.
Cool.
I mean, I'll touch on the morale dance because I made it. But we dance every hour on the hour, and like throughout the week before Warrior-a-thon, we dance like during lunches, and we kind of just do as much as we can to like promote it. But yeah, it's just like a 6-minute long dance that everybody has learned, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah.
And I think like obviously the main point of it is dancing, but there's also like fun things. There's bouncy houses. There's gonna be games there. I mean, the main goal of it is for fundraising, but it's also just a fun event to raise awareness. And I think last year we saw some of the patients that we were impacting, and it's a great event. And especially if you are a student that is interested in joining SGA or just interested in making an impact on the community, that's like where you want to be.
Yeah, and it's open to the community, so anyone could come. So.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's games, there's different fundraiser things we do during it, but I honestly think the best part is hearing, like, we get to hear from families and kids who like went through the hospital, and we get to hear their stories, and we get to hang out with them. They're actually so fun. So
That's awesome.
yeah, we're excited to see them every year. But yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think we raised over 20,000 last year,
Yep.
21,000.
Yeah.
21,000.
Yeah, and you know, because there are little brothers and sisters, I think Windermere did about the same last year, right? Like over 20,000.
Yeah, I
so
think so.
just with our two communities, over 40,000. That's quite a
Yeah,
bit. That's
yeah.
awesome. So speaking of Windermere, we did a little pickleball challenge yesterday. So Mr. Left Takes, their principal, and I played. We did not win, but we played. It was fun. I play a little more pickleball than him. So I think next year, when he's played a little bit more, we may practice a few days beforehand. We might be a little bit better off. But there were some good players. So how did that go? Did you guys hear any feedback from your group on that?
Yeah, it was really good. We had a lot of positive feedback from the players that went. They really just said that they enjoyed their time. We're hoping to make it like a longer lasting tradition every year, make it a bigger competition between Windermere because they're our rivals. So hopefully we'll have more show up next year, but it was successful for this year and we're really excited.
Yeah, I think we're painting the pickleball courts in the courtyard for you guys. We've got everything settled. We're just waiting for the painter to come in, so that'll be fun. That'll be much better than having to set them up. And we'll have 4 courts painted in the courtyard, probably next week. So that'll
really
be great.
cool.
Yeah.
I think a big part of like the pickleball tradition, we wanted to make that a tradition, and a big part of SGA is leaving that legacy that we want to leave. So I think we want to build that foundation moving forward as we're stepping into the new year and as we're graduating. So.
Well, and speaking of legacy, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you guys wanted your legacy to be, whether your class of 25, SGA group, or just your personal legacy. I can tell you I'll skip a few for you. I know that our pep rallies have gotten a lot better since you guys have been here and taken over. They're a little tighter, it's hard to get 2,000 teenagers to do anything, right? It's hard to get 10 teenagers to do anything, but to get them excited and the reason, it's hard to kind of do stuff in front of your peers sometimes. And I think you guys have done a great job of that. It can always get better, but it's been really good. Obviously, the pep rally we did last summer for the adults are they're still talking about it. But you think about that. Why was that one so good? I mean, you guys did a great job, but also the adults don't. The peer pressure is there, but we don't care about our peers as much.
Yeah.
So they were a lot more into it. If we fall, like one of them fell, I think, like we're not we're not embarrassed. We're not going to, we're embarrassed, but it's not as serious because you're a little bit more set. But, you guys have done a great job with that. And then some other items. So, but for you guys, what do you want your legacy to be?
So I think I can talk more on the SGA side of things. At the beginning of the year when we or last year actually, when we became officers, or when we found out that we were becoming officers, we kind of had like a little meeting and we just talked about some things that we wanted to get done over the next year. And these have kind of become things that we want to leave a legacy for next year. So one of the things that we're actually doing today is we're going to middle schools and talking to middle schoolers about student government and kind of just giving them a basis on the benefits that you get from being in student government and like why you should join, and just in general like advice from high schoolers, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I wish I could have gone back and told my 8th grade self, and I guess our goal is to just tell them what we wish we could have told ourselves going into high school. So that's one thing we want to leave a legacy for. There's a few other things. One of the things we do is a committee competition, which is where SGA is split up into committees, and it's just fun competition to increase like participation throughout the club, and kind of just if there's competitiveness throughout it, it's a lot more fun. So we do like some fun competitions. For example, with the morale dance for Warrior-a-thon, we did dance competitions, and whoever's committee did the best dance got points. And so yeah, that. And lastly, as a club, we don't have a banquet at the end of the year, but we wanted to do that. So this will be the first year that we have a SGA banquet, and we hoping that that can be something that can be brought into the other years, because we think it'll be a fun like tradition that we can have.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Anybody else?
Nah, you hit everything.
I think you covered
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Cool. So last thing, any parting words for the junior class, the class of 26? I know, like they may watch this and say, what can you tell them that you couldn't tell them in their face, or tell me to tell them? What's your advice to them as they take your legacy, they take over the reins next year?
Do you mean more
Don't-
specifically for SGA or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
in
SGA.
general? Yeah.
Don't screw it up. Is that what your words are?
just do your part to
Yeah.
make it work, because it's more fun when everybody like is doing what they're supposed to do, and yeah, just do your part.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, if you're having fun in what you're doing, you're
Yeah.
going to be a lot more willing to put in the effort.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, as an officer, I've had the most fun out of any of my
Yeah.
years. I think
We're together
being an
all the
officer is
time.
so much more fun. So I think just, like, enjoy it, too. And just
Yeah.
also maybe, I would say plan. Definitely plan, because it comes fast, and, like, we're already, I thought I just became a senior, but we're already in the third
Yeah.
quarter, and we're talking about banquets and graduation, which
Yeah.
is crazy to
Yeah,
me.
it's crazy.
So I guess just have a plan ahead of time, because it goes by fast, and
Yeah.
if you're not planning, you're not going to be
Yeah.
able to get
And
stuff
like,
done.
if you want to do something, like you have all the resources to do it, so don't have any excuses. Just do it.
Yeah.
But we've accomplished so much this year. We've been together 24/7, but we've accomplished a lot this year, and it's made the year fun, and it's like it's not stressful at all. It's just more fun. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, guys.
Of course, thank you
I'm
for
really
having
glad
us.
to have you on here. You're as our first student group to do one, so I want to get a lot more on here and start showcasing it. But thanks for your time. I'll give you a little. How about a round of applause? For you guys. They did great. They did great.
Yeah.